Did you know that the hashtag, as we know it today, was first proposed on Twitter in 2007? And it was only in 2009 that Twitter actually made it official and added hyperlinks and hashtags to their platform. Join me today as I take you down memory lane and explore a well-loved search function, the hashtag. Hello creative people, I am Jade from Misskoko the Librarian, and on this channel I share my expertise so that you too can create a rockin' online presence that brings you to the attention of all the right people. Today is the second video in a series where we'll be looking at hashtags and how you can use them to expand your reach online. Since that monumental moment in 2007, most major social networks have also included a hashtag function. Instagram initiated one in 2011, Facebook started hashtags in 2013, and YouTube and LinkedIn joined in the hashtag party just last year in 2018. So by now, the hashtag is a very familiar thing. But hashtags have a very rich history before they became, well, hashtags. The hash symbol was already used by programmers. For example, 31 years ago, the first hash symbol was used by the IRC, the Internet Relay Chat, to label groups and topics to make it easier for users to find the information they were looking for. Sound familiar? It was actually from the IRC that Chris Messina, I'm sorry, I am terrible with names, so if I'm mispronouncing that, I know I am mispronouncing that, I'm terribly sorry. Anyway, it was Chris who was inspired by the IRC to consider hashtags as a way to contextualize, to filter, and to encourage serendipitous exploration of information on the internet. And considering that at the time, Twitter was thinking of using groups like Flickr does to organize information on its platform, I am so glad that Chris's idea won out. Actually, I should be thanking all of you that Chris's idea won out. See, in those early days, it's only because users started including hashtags in their content that Twitter decided to go ahead and make them a proper search function on the platform. So thanks. And here's a fun fact for you. I found out today that one of the major objections to people using hashtags initially was that they didn't like the way that they looked. I wonder what those people think now. Before I go on, I suppose I should actually explain what a hashtag is. As you may have guessed, it's a way to organize information and provide a little extra context for any tweet or posts that you create online. For example, a lot of the content I create is to actually help people become a better networker. But I've also realized that networking, hashtag networking, is not really sought after information. Most people don't enjoy networking, let alone researching how to do it well. So I've started adding hashtag find your tribe to a lot of my networking content. I have found that the posts within this hashtag generally have a more positive spin on networking. Plus, it also puts my content in front of a different crowd. And this is just one of the ways that you can use hashtags to bring your voice to many different sorts of conversations. And to create a hashtag, all you need to do is put the hash symbol in front of any word. And voila, you've created a hashtag and yet another way you can filter the internet. Since 2007, people have used hashtags as a way to build community, to share news, from person to person, to get worldwide updates during natural disasters, to advocate for social justice, to influence politics, or to get behind some new pop culture phenomenon. The question is no longer how do we organize information on the internet, but rather what will be the next movement inspired by a hashtag. So now that you know the history and understand the power of the hashtag today, here are a few things I want you to keep in mind when you use your next hashtag. What is your intention when you add a hashtag to your content? Because the way that you use hashtags for community building is a lot different from the way that you use it for search. Search is easy. It's very topic based. Even if you're composing a tweet about entrepreneurship and don't actually add that word into the tweet itself, you can still add entrepreneurship as a hashtag at the end of your tweet. And that tweet will join the conversation under the entrepreneurship hashtag. Topic-based hashtags on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn work the same way. But if you are using a hashtag to build a community, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. You need to do your research. You need to find out if the hashtag that you want to use is already in use. And if it is, the content that's already in that hashtag, are you happy to have it associated with the community that you are trying to build? Will your hashtag be able to stand on its own, or will it need its own social media presence to provide an online home for people to gather? I also want you to realize that over hashtagging only makes noise and doesn't actually fulfill the purpose of a hashtag. Hashtagging is a folksonomic approach in that we can create and drop hashtags as we like. But I think Chris said it best when he said, used sparingly, respectfully, and in appropriate measure, I think that the value generated from the use of hashtags is substantial enough to warrant their continued use. And finally, adding a hashtag to your content expands its reach beyond the people who follow you, to anyone interested in that keyword or phrase. So make sure that the content you're adding to that hashtag is valuable in some way. Wouldn't it be a shame if your content just got muted by thousands of people because they saw it as spammy? As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is video 2 in a series where we will be looking at the hashtag and how we can use it to expand our reach online. Please join me next week as we deep dive into how we use hashtags from search to comedy. But until then, you may also be interested in these 2 videos. You've been entertained and educated. I've been Jade from Misskoko the Librarian. Remember to always be curious, and I shall see you same time next week.